Boom! What's going on, everyone? It's Steve Larsen. This is Sales Funnel Radio, and today we're going to talk about some easy add-ons you can put to your products.
I've spent the last 4 years learning from the most brilliant marketers today. And now I've left my 9-to-5 to take the plunge and build my $1 million business. The real question is, how will I do it without VC funding or debt, completely from scratch? This podcast is here to give you the answer. Join me and follow along as I learn, apply, and share marketing strategies to grow my online business, using only today's best internet sales funnels. My name is Steve Larsen, and welcome to Sales Funnel Radio.
What's up, guys? Hey, I don't know if you're like me, but my favorite part of going to movies a lot of times is the previews ahead of times. If we don't actually, I remember we were driving to a movie and I didn't want to go to it anymore because I knew we would just get there in time for the movie. Like, which might be a little bit weird, but I love watching the previews. I love being sold. I love being sold. So fun. There was a guy who came and he walked up to our front door and he said, "Hey, I want to give you some pest control or carpet cleaning or this or that." And I love the sales process. It's so fun. It's really, really cool to see how it's in, how it's in action. Infomercials. Oh my gosh. Okay, I could watch infomercials. In fact, I have done that many times. I just watch the infomercial for the sake of the infomercial because I don't want to watch whatever show is on. Okay, I've done that multiple times. Okay, I love the act of selling. Now, in infomercials, though, you guys have seen it, right? And back, I don't know, several years ago, I would watch. Definitely like 6, 7, even 8 years ago, I'd watch these infomercials and, or even just in general, right? You'd see these products that people would come out with and you'd see these infomercial guys and they're like, "You're going to get this and it's this CD set," and right. And it's all these CDs. It's this course laid out in all these CDs, like 12 CDs. Now, spacing wise, it could easily fit on one CD, but they know it looks bigger if it's on 12. So you're gonna get this 12 CD set, and you're like, "Wow, that's crazy cool." You're also gonna get this workbook over here. Wow, that's cool. You're also gonna get the personal book from the author as well, from the creator of the course. They've also authored a book. We're gonna give you that book. Wow, that's cool. You're also gonna get this checklist. Wow, that's cool. You're also right, and it was they're masters at creating offers. And when you look, right, even when it's like the ShamWow guy, right? I don't remember his name. ShamWow guy, right? If you get one, if you act in the next 15 minutes, we're gonna give you 2 ShamWows for the price of 1. What? We're also gonna throw in 4 mini wins in case you're ever in the car. What? Right? They're building an offer. That's an offer. The infomercial people are experts at creating these offers, and it's exactly what we do on the internet. We create these offers and put them all together. Well, my perception of what it took to create a product was like way up here. I mean, it was so big because I would see these guys, and I'd see these guys and they'd be creating, "You're gonna get this CD set, you're gonna get the workbook, you're gonna get the transcriptions, you're gonna get this and this and this." And I was like, wow, gurus are telling me to go and actually create, my phone's going off over there. No, all right. Sorry about that. Right, but it was my perception that I would have to go and create these massive products, and it ended up becoming a block to me, right? And I'd be like, "Man, these gurus, they're saying the only way for me to get out there and actually go create success with this stuff is for me to go and make." Right, I gotta have the CD course set, I gotta have the workbook, I gotta have this, I gotta have this, I gotta have this, I gotta have this. Right, if I'm doing like some supplement, I gotta be able to give this away and a workbook from some, let's say it's a weight loss thing. I gotta go interview these people and I gotta become an expert on weight loss and give them that workbook as well, plus the supplements, plus formulate it, plus put together the packaging and the branding and how it's gonna fulfill and the shipping housing, right? And my perception of what it took to actually create a product, and especially an add-on, was through the roof. It was crazy. It was through the roof. It was so challenging because these guys were so good at it that it actually ended up becoming a barrier, and I started believing I needed to do it like that in order for me to actually become successful and build my own product. Okay, and so for the first few products that I put out, it was like that, right? And I would go and months, guys, months and months of time putting a little info product together, then like a little CD, and then a free plus shipping thing with something physical, and then this over, and that's how I would build out these products. Okay, and I still do that, but there's some hacks to it, and I want to let you know that that's not always the case, though. Right? If you go look at what these guys are experts at, they're experts at creating offers and products. So what I wanted to go through with you guys today, I've got my phone here, which is why my computer rang. I've got my phone here and put it in airplane mode so nothing else pops in. But and I started writing down a list of really easy ways for you to create add-ons, okay? So let's say you've got your main product. Let's say you got a supplement, right? And you might put a little add-on on there. Maybe you can use it as an upsell, or hey, it just comes with it naturally anyway. And these are things that you can do to increase the perceived value of the product without you spending inordinate amounts of time going out and building out literally an entire additional product. Does that make sense? Okay. What we're doing here is we are toying with the perceived value of offers, of products, okay? And by tossing in a few of these really simple ways. Now, for those of you guys who are in the 2 Comma Club X program, right, there are huge lists of ways to create products quickly in there, right, which is awesome. Product hacks or product secrets is amazing. But I want to be able to share just a few of the things that I personally do that aren't on that list also that I like to use to very quickly increase the perceived value of my the primary thing I'm trying to sell. For example, right, I have a product that I launched at the beginning of this year called Secret MLM Hacks, right? And it sells in the MLM space and it's doing awesome. It's amazing. But there are a few things I added in there that I knew would increase perceived value. I added in a workbook, okay? I added in because I know if I can sense it, right, here's the issue with info products. I love info products. You guys know why I'm in the info product game. And the issue with it though is that people know there's a perception, like even though it took this guy for freaking ever to create this thing, for him to fulfill it to me, he literally does nothing. You know what I mean? Meaning there's an email with a login link, right? Even though there's a lot of time that went into that, right? The perceived value of info products can a lot of times be low for that very reason. The perceived value of something that's physical is a lot higher, right? You don't have a lot of sales copy next to Amazon products. Right? If you look on Amazon, what's the sales copy on an Amazon product? There's no sales copy. There's like bullet points. Here's what it is. Here's how much it is. Here's the questions people ask. There's the answers. Boom, buy it. Right? There's it's like a sales letter. There's no sales letter. There's hardly even testimonials on things like Amazon products. Right? Why? It's because I'm going to be able to feel it. I can future pace myself of what it's going to be like when that thing shows up. It's in the box. It's coming to my house. I can, think of the day. Imagine the day. It's coming straight to the front door. I'm going to run to that front door. I'm going to grab that box, open it on up. Bam. Wow, and I get to hold it, right? All that future pacing goes on post-purchase. There's not a lot of future pacing that goes on post-purchase in like an info product. So what I do is I combine them, okay? So a few of these strategies here I'm going to show with you is, right, the info product, which I love because it's high margins, combined with something physical. So a few of the strategies are that way, okay? Events, right? There's high perceived value in events. I'm going to book time out of my schedule. I'm going to set up flights in a hotel and what I'm going to eat. I'm going to schedule, right? I'm going to check with loved ones and, and friends and family. I'm going to let them know, look, I'm gone, right? There's a lot of high perceived value inside of an event because of the mere time it takes to put together the event, just you attending, right? And so what I am trying to do is I want to show you guys a few cool ways and things to do that'll help you increase perceived value of whatever it is that you're selling out there. Okay, and so think about this. Okay, if let's say I've got my product here. A really cool strategy is, let's say you're selling a book or you've got, again, a supplement or something like that. If you add, let's say you're going to do a little event, an afternoon event or like a weekend event or something like that, a free ticket to that event included in the product before it, massive value add. Massive value. Let's say that it was going to be a $200 little mastermind you're going to toss or something like that, right? Putting in a free ticket to that is huge. Filling events is hard, right? That's like probably one of the hardest things to do. Filling events, that's not easy. People that can put 3,000 people in a room, that is not easy to do, right? You think, right, ClickFunnels, right? Their last event, Funnel Hacking Live, was like 3,500 people or something like that. They have 60,000 users and 3,000 people came. Is that interesting? 60,000 active monthly users. And that number's going up all the time. At the time of recording this, though, it's like 65-ish or something, right? And 3,500 came. Like, get real on how hard it is to fill up events. So a good way to start filling up that event where people can see your upsells, people can see it, start hearing more about you, is by merely tossing in a ticket in that product ahead of time, okay? That's one way, okay? Let me get back to my notes here. One of my favorite strategies, which I just barely tossed out also last episode, or one of them, was the course on how I made the very thing that they're buying. And anyway, which is super cool, right? right? Think about this. So if you're an author, right, back to the author thing. How cool would it be if you were to share, as you're actually making the book, as you're writing the book or putting together the notes or whatever, like the actual notes that you're using, the original outline, right? This is when I wrote this piece. This is when I wrote this piece. This is why that piece comes before that part. This is why that piece comes before that part. Like crazy, right? The value add that is inside of the book is crazy. Oh, by the way, right? Here's the book, but also here's how I wrote the book, right? Here's the supplement, but here's how I created the supplement and why it has what it has in it. I don't know half the crap that's in a supplement, right? It would be awesome if someone was to tell me that, right? I don't know what someone went through to create a software. That would be awesome, right? And all it does is help create more true believers for your actual product itself. But that is since you're already doing it, just document it. And it's a very easy way for you to add a lot of perceived value, to the thing. One of my favorites is to just get a whole bunch of experts. Like, again, back to the book thing. Let's say you have a book that's in a topic of, I don't know, how to lay bricks. Okay, I would go and I'd find the top masons, right? The top people who are masonries. I mean, right? And I would go out and I would go grab the top people who were the top bricklayers on the planet, and I would go in and I would interview those guys, and I would include that series inside of my book called How to Lay a Brick. Right? Crazy example. Just trying to go crazy so you understand how easy this is. Okay, it doesn't matter what you're selling; it's the principle behind it. Okay. If you're gonna go in and you're making a supplement and it's about weight loss, man, go interview a whole crap load of people, right? Which doesn't take a lot of time. It really doesn't. Make it 20-minute interviews, go list out 10 people, get that, and package it all together and give that away for free with the actual supplement. That's crazy. Really easy add-on. You're not making it. They're saying the stuff. You're literally just compiling, which is pretty awesome. One of the other ways, I currently do this in several of my products, I like to create welcome packages. So if I'm selling something that's info, a welcome package could include something like a manifesto. It could include some stickers. It include a workbook, right? It could include my personal notes, like as if I'm going through the course myself, me writing it out, right, in the workbook. So a copy of how I would fill out the workbook, right? Anyway, does that make sense? A t-shirt, right? Getting their shirt size and sending that with them. A welcome package with stuff like that. Those are super easy add-ons you can toss in as well. Next one here. Let's say that there is, let's say that you are not an expert in what you do yet, or you wouldn't consider yourself to be, or let's say the market doesn't consider you to be an expert. That's totally fine. What's very easy to do, and actually it's one of the things, this is actually my very, very, very first info product. I read the book .com Secrets by Russell, and I went through and watched a few more videos and trainings that he did on that stuff, and then I literally got a whole bunch of people together and I taught what I learned for like 2 or 3 hours and recorded it, and that became my first info product. Okay, a checklist on how to do what the guru was teaching about, super easy to do as well. If you're already a geek about what it is that you're selling, that's really easy to do. You're gonna find some person who you geek out about and say, go to that person's audience and say, hey, that person's audience, you want a checklist on how to apply what you're learning from this guy? Huge value add, huge value add. And you couple that with something you're already selling, that's a massive way to do it as well. Compiling other people's content, right? What's cool about YouTube, guys, YouTube is public domain. It means there's been times where like one of my live funnel builds, one of the cool membership area strategies I like to use is, let's say that you have a product, let's say you're selling fishing rods, okay? I'm just trying to use random crap, okay? So that you know how easy it is to do this. Let's say you sell fishing rods, okay? Okay, you're a fly fisherman, you sell fishing rods, okay? The fear that people have when I say, get into an info product kind of thing, is they think that means I have to get a camera and I've got to get some weird backdrop, and what am I gonna say? And is it gonna, do I know how to talk that long? What do I, right? And there's like all this like fear. There's heck no. There's absolutely no way I'm gonna do that. And they start backpedaling, like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Here's an easy fix for it, okay? When you put something on YouTube and it's marked as public, right? Don't do this to unlisted videos because that's stealing. But when you press public and you push that thing out there, that's public domain. Okay, I have grabbed the URLs. So I would go out and let's say I'm a fly fisherman and I sell I sell fishing rods and fishing equipment. I would go find content that some person with a massive audience, multiple people, right? People with huge audiences inside the fishing space, I would go in and I would grab a lot of their stuff off of YouTube. I wouldn't download it. I would literally just take the URL and put it in a members area. Hey, with this book, with the fishing rod, okay, with this fishing rod, we're going to send it out to you, but we're also going to give you an account for free to the members area that's going to teach you from more of the experts on how to use it correctly, right? You didn't make the content. You just compiled content from existing experts. Does that make sense? Super easy value add. Content's already existing. That's part of what I'm trying to help people understand with this. Most of the time, the content is already out there, and if it's marked as public, right, don't steal it, but if it's marked as public and it's on YouTube, grab that URL, put it inside a members area, and give it away a free account. It already was free, okay? Give away a free account. They're still going to get the views on their thing, and that's a fantastic strategy. That works super well. One of my favorites is to give away group coaching sessions. So let's say that I'm going to do... let's say I'm selling events, or let's say that my primary business is masterminds, okay? I'm going to give away a free group coaching session after the event to make sure you apply what it is that you learned. That's a huge value add, right? There's a lot of value associated with time, okay? And if I'm giving away my time, now I would not give away one-on-one time, okay? That's why I do a group coaching session. I'm gonna do a group coaching session, and I've tossed that inside of my offers many times. Actually, in that very scenario for masterminds. If I'm selling a product at a mastermind, a group coaching session, that's an awesome way to add more value into what you're doing. Anyway, that's a huge one. Or let's say you're doing an info product. Guys, I don't want you to be lost in the info product. If you have any questions or whatever, I do a coaching session 2 times a month on this day and on this day. Here you go. Come on in and sign on in, and this will get you off the ground. We want to get your questions answered. We want, people want that hand-holding feeling, so they want the blanket of security. Oh, everything's gonna be okay. Anyway, so that's my small little list, and I made that really, really fast. And the principle that I'm trying to put in people's brains here is like, check that out. So like an event ticket, does that cost you anything else to fulfill? No, you're gonna do the event anyway. So if you are doing an event anyway, just put in a free ticket for that person, and it's way easier to fill out that event, right? In events, you change the selling environment, so usually that's where a lot of upsells happen too. Okay, a course on how you made the thing, all right? Right, it literally is just you recording you doing your thing and including it in the product, right? The very thing that you were making. That's huge. I saw a lot of stuff that way. Right, doing an expert seminar kind of interviews, going in and grabbing a whole bunch of experts if you're not maybe an expert yet, and compiling that. That's very easy. Welcome package, that's a fantastic one. I use that one right now also. Grabbing like manifesto and t-shirts and workbooks and all that stuff so that there's something physical paired with info. That works super well for even retail and B2B. I mean, that's awesome. Checklist to use, like, hey, here's how to apply what that expert was teaching. That's a great strategy. Compiling things from YouTube and public domain. That's super easy. Go in and literally type in, right, your keyword plus public domain. You'll find a whole bunch of free content on the internet. It's public domain, meaning you can grab it. That's what public domain means, right? Oh, that's an awesome one. That's an awesome one. Group coaching, that's awesome. I would not do one-on-one, but group coaching. Anyway, so hopefully this has been a cool episode for you. I just want to walk through a few ways to do it, and that's the principle. If you're like, spend a ton of time and energy, getting in and actually building the cool thing, but really easy ways to increase perceived value so you're not competing on price is by coupling in a few add-ins like this. And they're not hard. And most of them you can just automate and do one time, and then you can sell at what it's really worth rather than competing on price. All right, guys, hopefully it's been helpful to you. If it has been, please go to iTunes and rate and review it. That would really mean a lot to me. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to rate and subscribe. Got a question you want answered live on the show? Head over to salesfunnelradio.com and ask your question now.